Hello, my gorgeous loves out there, and welcome. In today's video, I wanted to put on a little bit of makeup. I mean, I already did my base makeup, but my eye makeup, cheek stuff, and talk to you guys about my unpopular opinions when it comes to makeup. This is a tag that I watched several people do, and I thought I would do it myself, answer the questions while I put my makeup together. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bree, and I am just a crazy lover of all things beauty, and I like to post a lot of fun, colorful makeup content. I like to do a lot of indie makeup, so if that is what you're into, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. Okay guys, so I thought this tag was very juicy, very interesting, and I really liked the questions, and I enjoyed watching different creators do this tag. I watched Patty Alonso do this, Angelica Nikovic do this, Heather Austin do this, and I think the original creator from what I found was Nobody's Beauty Guru. Now I'll make sure to link all their videos below so you can check them out if you haven't seen them. I thought their answers were so interesting and intriguing. I was like, you know what, I want to spill a little tea and share my answers to these questions. And I thought, hey, let's play with some makeup that I wanted to use on camera again. I'm going to use the Blend Bunny All Done Up palette, and I'm going to pair it with the Danessa Myricks Transcendence palette that has all the special metallics in it. Put that together. Use the Blend Bunny highlighter palette, the Blend Bunny new lip products. They're so good. And just create a little look, because that's it, right? Oh, and I'm going to use this Udin's eye blush. I just wanted to mention that in the beginning before I get into everything. I'm going to use Rose Love on my cheeks because it's pretty and do all that. So let me get a little closer. I'm going to start putting some makeup, and I'm going to start spilling some tea with you guys. Before we get into like the eye look and everything, if you're curious about what is on my face, like foundation, concealer, all that, everything is in the description below, as well as what I use on my brows. In case you're ever wondering, it's always in the description. So I did prime my eyes with the Give Me Glow Primer and Parchment, and I want to do my cheeks, and let's start answering these questions. So the first question is popular makeup products you don't like, and I know that instantly, which would be the Pat Mcgrath eyeshadow palettes. I feel like they're so popular, like everybody like raves about Pat Mcgrath, and I see so many channels just go crazy for their like products, but I don't see it, guys. I don't see the hype over the eyeshadow palettes. I feel like they're good, but they're not like the price tag good, like in the $100 range. I think Pat Mcgrath's mattes are better than their shimmers, and I feel like indie brands just do it so much better when it comes to like special metallics, and you don't pay as much for most of them. I mean, some of them can be expensive, but I don't know. I don't see it, and I don't see it. I'm also going into the Blend Bunny Not Delucent palette, and I always try to figure out what people see in those palettes, because I've tried the Bronze Seduction palette, I've tried the Rose Divine, I think 2 palette. I ended up giving away the Bronze Seduction palette too, and I just was like, oh, it's just not where it's at. I prefer Pat Mcgrath's like blush products, cheek products, like things like that, even their complexion products over their eyeshadows, and I think those things are actually worth the money. So that's definitely probably an unpopular opinion, because I swear people go bananas for Pat Mcgrath's like products. I think it's just like the presentation and like how they campaign and market it. It makes it seem like you're gonna have like such a luxurious experience from what I feel actually happens when you get the product. At least that's, you know, my opinion. And then the next question is popular makeup product slash brand that everyone else seems to hate but you love. I feel like the brand that at least I don't hear a lot of people talk about, or I've seen overall negative reviews on their products on a lot of people's channels, is Kimchi Chic. I love that brand, and I feel like it's a very underrated brand. A lot of people don't talk about their products. They don't get a lot of hype for some reason, at least on the ones, like the channels that I'm watching, don't seem to really talk about that brand. But everything I've tried from them, I've loved. I love their highlighter palette. I love their foundation, their primer, which I'm actually wearing the Kimchi Chic Effin' Primer in the matte version. I love their lipsticks. And overall, I've had such a good experience. I even like their powders. I think the only thing that was a little too extreme for me was the concealer. It was just a little too like thick and drying. But besides that, I love it. And no one ever talks about that brand. So I feel like I'm like the only one who just like gushes about their products. So now going on to question number 3 is makeup collabs you didn't like or were not interested in. And I could name several collabs that are out there that just don't do it for me. Like most of the Disney collabs I've never been interested in, especially from like Makeup Revolution. I've never been into the weird collabs that Hip Dop does. They do so many just off the wall collabs that it always trips me out. Like I think the last one was at like Applebee's, and then it was like the Ouija board game, and it just, those things never appeal to me. Like I just never would want my makeup products to be themed with those things. And I would say like the Corella collection that was with MAC was horrible. I think Prince collection too, was that Urban Decay? I mean, a lot of the collabs with Urban Decay are also just terrible. So I think there's a lot. I could name so many collabs that have come out that just never piqued my interest. A lot of the ones from, is it Be Perfect, where they do those huge palettes, also have never pulled me in. Like I always want to like their palettes, and I've been wanting to try the brand, but I always feel like their palettes are just too big. They have too many redundant shades in there, and to me, they all start looking the same, and they start just doing too much. I mean, some of the palettes will have like 5 of the same oranges in it, and I'm just like, no. I'm waiting for them to do something a little bit more small and curated, and something that just piques my interest, because I think even their smaller palettes, they were like super monochromatic palettes that had a lot of shades that looked the same. I don't know what's going on with that brand, but those collabs too also haven't been something I've ever wanted to try, even though I do really want to try the brand because so many people say really good things about their eyeshadows and their products. But one day I hope they come out with something that will do it for me. And now going on to the next question, which is number 4 is popular makeup steps that you never do. I would say for sure I never really do contouring. I think that is popular with a lot of people, but it's just not like a step that I ever do. I don't even think I know how to contour, and I know a lot of people like doing that, to help shape their face out, look a little bit more snatched, but I don't know. I guess maybe I don't really care about defining my face like that. I have a round face. It is what it is. I don't care. But I know that's a popular step a lot of people do. And I don't. I just go in with bronzer and call it a day. Sometimes maybe I'll go in with a cooler bronzer and kind of mimic that as my contour step. But that's about it. Also think setting spray is another one that I don't really do. I have setting sprays. But I always forget to use them. I have a few of them, and I think I barely touch them. I just never remember to use them, and I think I see most people when they do their makeup on YouTube, they always go in with a setting spray either before, like those hydrating ones, which I don't use any kind of hydrating setting sprays because I have oily skin, or they go in with it like after their makeup, so either like as a priming spray and then as a setting spray. I don't know. I don't think it's something that I really see the point of doing. I don't know. Even though I do have mattifying ones, it's just not a step that I feel is necessary unless I look super over powdered and I want to kind of melt the products down a little bit more. Then I'll go in with a setting spray, but that is not like a necessary step at all in my makeup routine. So I think those 2 steps I just never really think to do, or feel like there's just something that I have to do, when I do my makeup. And I do most of the steps. I think I look pretty smoked up. I think it looks okay. I'm going to go to the Danessa Myricks palette now. But the next question is popular beauty influences you don't subscribe to / watch. And it says in parentheses, this is hot shady tea though. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. It is a little hot shady tea, and I'm gonna name some people. Hopefully, no one takes it personal, but definitely like influencers that I probably don't really watch like that is Jeffree Star, to name. I think a lot of people don't at this point. I've never really been a fan of his content, his style. I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. So I don't think I've ever liked Jeffree Star, even when Jeffree Star was a little bit more popular. I don't think he's as popular now, but I don't think I ever watched his stuff. I don't know. He just does not interest me one bit. I could also name James Charles, which is another quite controversial person in social media. His style and like makeup and all that, it didn't like sit with me either. Like, it wasn't something I was interested in. And the things surrounding these two people are just insane in terms of like what has come out about them, and I'm just not okay with. And honestly, like, just, I don't even want to go into it. I don't want to go into like that kind of stuff, because I don't like to talk about controversial things or drama like that on my channel, because it's not what we're about. But the things that I've seen personally just never sat well with me. So that's like two for sure that I know I've never watched, never subscribed to. It's never been my thing. And it's gonna probably stay that way, because I don't need that kind of drama and stuff in my life. And I'm just a person who like avoids any super drama like influencers or YouTube channels. I don't like negative stuff in my life, and I don't want that kind of stuff to be on my feed. So I don't watch that. I don't watch drama channels. I don't watch anything about gossip or what's like all the bad things going on in the beauty community, like things like that. Just, there's no point. It's just so negative. So the next question is popular makeup products / brands that you don't use or support anymore. Well, I think Jeffree Star was popular, like the makeup brand at one point, but I don't know if it's as popular anymore. But I think like some products or brands that I don't use anymore, I don't know if they just don't come out with a lot of stuff anymore, but like Smashbox, I don't know when's the last time I use like a Smashbox product or wanted to buy anything that they came out with. The Balm, like what happened to the Balm? I really liked their like brow products, their cheek products, but I feel like they're kind of a stagnant brand too. No one's like really talking about them. And I feel like they've kind of just done the same thing for so long. And it's a shame, because I thought they had really good stuff. I'm sure I could name a bunch of other brands that I haven't used or people talk about in a long time, but those are like the few that I can think of off the top of my head. And then the next question is makeup trends that you have no interest in trying. For sure, it's the using those glowy bases like on your face before you go into foundation, like the one from e.l.f., the one from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm sure a lot of brands do that, but because I have oily skin, I feel like those trends just don't make sense for me in terms of what I like, because I already naturally will get very glowy on my own. And to me, I need mattifying products. I don't need glow enhancing products. That's one thing my face does not need, because, just my skin type. So those like trends of doing all that like glowy bases, they don't do it for me. I don't need that in my life. And the other trend that I think a lot of people like to do now that's like more popular is doing faux freckles. Like, I have natural freckles on my cheeks already that kind of come through because I don't really wear heavy foundation. So I already have them naturally. I don't feel the need to add them on my face. And I know you can make them look more natural or realistic, but I've seen a lot of people where it looks like they just put a bunch of dots on their face, kind of patted it, and it looks kind of weird to me, at least for me. Now, some people look really cute with the faux freckles. They pull it off really well, but I think I'm good with the freckles I have now, and it's just not something that I think does anything for me or I feel enhances my makeup look or anything. It's just not something I ever thought was really that appealing. Before we get into the last question, I wanted to let you guys know the shades I used from each palette, since I wasn't mentioning that as I was doing my look. But I did use the shade Shapely. I used this shade right here called Transform to blend it out, this khaki green. I also used the shade called Ready on the outer corner and the lower part and the top part. And that was it for the shadows that I used from here. And then from the Danessa Myricks palette, I used this metallic right here called Zen on the outer part, this greeny shade. I used Trippy in the inner portion. God, the shifts on these are so pretty. And then I used the Divinity shade as my inner corner highlight, in case you wanted to know. But I'm gonna do my like mascara liner really quick because I don't want to do that on camera. Then I'll be back. We'll get to the last question. So I'm back. I just finished up the look. I put on my lippy already because I was like, I can't answer the third question while putting on lip liner and lipstick. But I went in with the new matte lip cream from Blend Bunny. These are so good. I went in the shade called Haunting, and I went over with the matching lip liner. I was going for a smoky, grungy look. I feel like I accomplished it. Then the final question is, a makeup product that was better in theory than when you used it, either swatched better or worked better on others than you. And I have two products to mention. One would be stick foundations. I've never gotten a stick foundation to work for me. They've always been a little too thick. They feel heavy on the skin. They never easily blend. And I've tried a bunch from different brands. Even the Hourglass Vanish stick foundation, a lot of people love that product, but it never looked right on me. And it would swatch beautiful, but on my actual face, it would always look very heavy. My pores would always be showing through. I could never get them to fully cover. I could just never really get it to blend. And I feel like those kind of foundations always break up on me because I have oily skin. They would just never last. So I think for sure that's a product that I think a lot of people love that never vibed with me. And then the other product would be brow waxes, like the clear ones. I see people use them and they get their brows to look all fluffy, but for me, I feel like they always leave a weird residue. They never looked right in my brows, or my brows would get weird and crunchy. And I've also tried a lot of those brow waxes from different brands, and I was like, you know what? That's just not a product for me. And I know that there's so many ones that are loved, like the one from ABH, but I don't know. I do not know how people get those things to work for you and not make your brows look flaky and crusty and weird, but maybe I'm just not trying the right ones. I feel like the gel, like the brow gels, are better for my brows than the waxes. So you guys let me know if there's a brow wax that actually doesn't leave a residue that actually works, because I do have long brow hair, so it takes a lot to get my brows to stay up and have that fluffy effect. But those are just not my jam. And every one I've ever tried has been a total fail, and I've always ended up decluttering them, throwing them away, because that is also, to me, a product that seems like it would work, like a wax would do really well, but never actually worked out when actually using them. So that was all the questions and all of my answers and unpopular opinions. I tried to keep this video neutral. I didn't want to spill too much tea where it got a little too dramatic, because I don't like drama in my life. I don't want it on my channel either. But you guys will have to let me know your thoughts on these questions. Like, I would love to hear your answers. What do you think is not something that works for you that seems to work for everyone? Who you not subscribed to? I mean, I would love to hear from all of y'all in the comments below. Also, if you are new here and you enjoyed this video, you like tagged, you like a lot of things on indie makeup and colorful makeup, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. I would love to have you here. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I will link all the products that I used today. I'll link the questions, videos from the creators that I mentioned that I watch, and all that good stuff. I will also have my contact and my social media platforms. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_Beauty. So if you want to join my Instagram fam as well, I would really, really love that. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for being here, supporting my channel, being amazing. I love you guys all so much. And I just hope you're all doing well, wherever you are in the world. Just sending you all so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys. Thank you.